Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another.
Hi guys.
Hi, guys, and welcome back to another edition of the RWT podcast. My name is Mike Larkin, and I am joined by my man, the myth, the legend that is DC Daniel Crimmins, the dead man of RWT. Paul Morales will be with us shortly. There's a lot to talk about this week from the Royal Rumble, from Triple H, from AEW, WWE,
And your manga?
TNA, and Umanga. No, not Umanga, but a lot of that and more. Busy week in the world of professional wrestling. And as we do with this show, we have our main topics and we have each 3 topics. So while we wait for Paul, Dan and I will do ours. But Daniel, I will let you start first. What are your 3 topics for the day?
Numero uno. It was announced, I believe it was today. Well, actually, this will be Tuesday, February 3rd when we're recording. Might be Wednesday when you got by the time you folks hit. New Japan Pro Wrestling did confirm that Hiromu Takahashi is no longer with the company. Now, having said that, it is believed that he is headed to WWE, which if I'm calling this now, we've seen the backstage bits with Tama Tonga and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yes.
I really think we're going to get a feud between the MFTs and a new stable led by Shinsuke, which is just Japanese guys.
That would be really cool to me.
I think we're going to get Shinsuke, Evil, Sonata, and Hiromu Takahashi.
Now, you see, I like
Daryl Takahashi. I get the little cat. Which, because the reason I'm saying that, the Layeska puppet selling like fucking crazy.
Oh, dude.
Demonito is selling like crazy. Thank you to Finn Balor and his love of 4:20 p.m.
I like your style there with how you're booking that, because I think with gentlemen like that, Evil was fantastic in New Japan as a part of LIJ. Takahashi being the junior heavyweight champion he was fantastic. I think with the tie-in of New Japan, and like you mentioned, they've been doing it on SmackDown with Nakamura and Tama Tonga. I think after the feud with the Wyatts is done and they get back the Lantern, I would love to see the MFTs against Nakamura's group. Gives Nakamura something to do. It brings the New Japan flavor to SmackDown, and it really highlights Nakamura and brings him back up again.
Oh, yeah. I think it's going to be good. You know, I'm excited for it. Wish I could say I'm more excited about Raw, but not really.
You know what it is, too, and we'll get to Raw in a bit, but I look at someone like a Takahashi, and a lot of people would say AEW because they would want to see him and Okada, him and Will Ospreay again, and stuff like that. And I think that's cool. But I think when you have Nakamura there and they're hinting something like we mentioned, it makes sense. But also at the same time, too, how many times are we going to see those dream matches but in AEW? You can also go to the WWE and have fresh meat and really showcase your talents there and also introduce them to the WWE audience.
Yeah, and it's exactly the case, you know, and I think it makes more sense. You know, I'm one of the few people, like when Ospreay came up as a free agent, I was one of the few people that said he's going to AEW.
I was too. I'll agree, and I'll say this about you and how you mentioned that because we talked about this in the past. He would have been great either wherever he went, but I think with his style and how he does his things, he's better for AEW.
Absolutely, like, and I'll say it again. Would I be shocked if he goes there at some point? Not at all. Do I think that, like, MJF, for example? I think he's going to go.
I think with a guy like him, I think it's only the inevitable. And I mean, if you put him on Netflix, you could curse more, like we saw with the Roman Reigns CM Punk angle at the end of Raw, which we'll get to. But it's one of those things, too. You put him on Raw, put him on Netflix, be one of the flagship members of that brand. I think he'd excel on that front.
Absolutely. You know, and honestly, as odd as it sounds, I would not mind seeing Gunther and MJF go at it.
Gunther and MJF, I think, would have a great match if him and Samoa Joe is any indication. I think he can not only take a blicking and then some, but it's one of those things where MJF likes that style and he can work that technical style. Oh, yeah. I think that's just a great matchup in itself.
I can hear the chops now.
My chest is already hurting thinking about them, Mr. Daniel Crimmins.
I saw a while back on YouTube. It was then known as Walter versus Sammy Guevara.
still hurts my heart watching that every time. Yes,
Sammy's chest was damn near black.
that's what you get, Sammy Guevara.
And then I remember watching his vlog that he recorded right after that, and his mother. If you've ever watched his vlogs, his mama is a sweet lady.
Yes.
She sees his chest. She just says, "Oh my God, who did this to you?"
Good there, Walter.
And she just says, "His name is Walter." And she says, "Oh, he sounds like a nice man." No, he's not.
Oh, no, he's not. Oh boy. So
I had to
do it. We'll get to Walter in a bit. What is your second topic, Daniel, as we bring in the RWT Dead Man? What's up, Paul?
Hi, Paul. And we can't hear you, Paul.
We can't hear you, Paul. Okay. While we wait for him to get his thing back, Daniel, what is your second topic?
So it was reported that there are those within WWE who do not expect Johnny Gargano to re-sign.
I got it. Sorry, my bad.
Hi, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
I got it. Sorry, my bad.
All right.
So as I just mentioned, Paul, I don't know if you caught it. It was reported today that those in WWE do not expect Johnny Gargano to stick around and honestly, I would say go. You know, it's unfortunately Triple H, Road Dogg, Michael Hayes, whoever have made it very clear they do not see any value in Johnny Gargano outside of NXT or outside of a tag team. And unfortunately, unless you're going to put him in a brand new team, there's nothing for him to do but, you know, probably job him out to Talatonga.
I mean, he hasn't been doing much with that whole thing with Axiom now, where he got the mask back, did Axiom from Gargano on SmackDown. Thankfully, that's over. I mean, don't get me wrong, the matches have been great, but the storyline is really going nowhere. And with Ciampa now in AEW, they got to do something with Gargano.
He's going to AEW, I guarantee you. And honestly, I hope he does.
Oh, yeah, at this point, I mean, it would be great to see Johnny wrestling as the babyface again, but at this point, it's like, whatever. Paul, go ahead.
No, I am in agreement. I mean, Johnny deserves better, and I believe
Absolutely.
he still has so many years left in his, you know, in his career. You know, I believe he's in his late 30s. You know, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, he can go another, you know, 4 or 5 years if he stays healthy. Yeah, he can go another 4 or 5 years. You know, in the ring. But at least he has his wife. I mean, if Candice isn't going to stick around, imagine her in that division, in that women's division, in
Oh boy,
in AEW. I mean, she can thrive there. I'm not saying that, you know, it's completely out of the realm, but I mean, she could thrive there.
Exactly. Like, you have, as good as she is, and you make her a lackey.
I think with her, she's still also helping produce the ladies, so she has that job there of helping them. With Gargano, I mean, they're local, they're in Florida, so if he doesn't, we don't see more of it here. He's also got there to help train the NXT kids and the Evolve kids, so there's that angle.
Well, put it this way, I would be shocked if within 5, maybe 6 years, if AEW does not open up a training center.
They should, but then
I would not be shocked. I may as well call Ring of Honor their developmental brand.
It is. It's their NXT, but Tony hasn't done anything with it.
You had a chance to have it on Tuesdays on the CW. Oh, what happened? That's right. That's NXT.
That's NXT.
By the way, we believe.
We do, and we'll get to that in a little bit too. Daniel, what is your third and final topic?
So the next one is the good and the bad of what we have seen from WWE 2K26. They released the gameplay trailer at the Royal Rumble, which on the surface looks pretty good, looks fun. Here are some of the problems there. They added the dumpster match. Cool, right?
Yeah.
All they did was they took the casket match, they changed the coloring, they changed it's a reskin of the casket match.
Okay.
Watch the trailer again. Look at the the dumpster, pay attention to the lid, and then look at gameplay clips of the casket match. It's the same fucking lid. It's the same animations. Literally, it's the exact same.
So in other words, they really didn't do very much. They kind of got lazy as far as like, the development. I mean, I figure it's like copy and paste. I figure it worked. Whatever works for them. Whatever works for them. I mean, it's one of those yay, but
no.
I think you could no, but I don't mean like yay that in their eyes it was probably like yay we did this, but in hindsight it's like you could have done better.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the other thing that's a bone of contention with a lot of people, with the Monday Night War edition, they added in 1998 version of Kane, which that version where you had like the full suit.
Yeah.
Looks kind of off. Reason being, they took the current model of Kane and just changed out the mask and the attire.
Oof.
Now, something like that is easily fixable. Yeah. What I tell people is, we don't know when this trailer exactly was made. We don't know what build of the game that they were using at the time. People don't realize building a video game, especially one like that, is not easy.
Right.
That's why you see games like Red Dead Redemption 2, games like GTA 6, why they take years and years and years. A game like NBA or Madden, games that come out every year, there's very little, if any, change.
Unless the only thing that changes really is if they get a new stadium. Like if a team gets a new stadium, like the Bills are going to get a new stadium. So next year's Madden is going to be a lot different because they have to implement, they have to bring in all the sights and sounds of what's in the new stadium. I forgot who else is supposed to get a new stadium within the next couple of years, but I know that it's weird when you get these new stadiums, or most of them are pretty much copy and paste because you're going to get the same thing. The only thing is that they're changing is the graphics on it. To kind of high definition, trying to get like that 4K feel to a lot of them. So that much is pretty much the same.
The other issue, and this is one that I see. So you have the base game, which is $69.99, which is just CM Punk on the cover. Cool. We all kind of knew that for the last month.
Yeah.
You have the King of Kings Triple H edition, which why the hell do you need to give it to Triple H?
30 years of Triple H.
Of all people, 30 years. Fuck him. I would rather have like a Mick Foley edition.
That would be cool.
Instead of a guy who, that bald, to paraphrase the Iron Sheik, that bald no son of a bitch.
That guy.
Case in point, I feel like the deluxe version, there's other ways they could have gone. Here's an idea. An Evolution edition of, put all the women on the cover.
That would have been cool.
Never done that before. Then
that would have been my preference.
Then we get the Attitude Era edition, which we know that one.
Mm-hmm.
That one, the Attitude Era edition, $129.99, which used to be the price of like the top tier version. I know that was like the Bloodline edition, and then I think the year before it was NWO edition.
Yeah, they did the NWO edition.
But wait, there's one more.
Hit it.
The Monday Night War edition, which has everything. Supposedly the storyline, and this one is you have to decide which company you're signing with. I've heard you have to either choose WCW, WWE. I imagine there's going to be ECW at some point.
Okay.
That one's going to run you $149.99.
Wow.
Without tax.
Hot damn.
So if you're in a state like I am, like New York, you're going to be paying taxes.
Well, I will say
$160.
Jesus. Well, I will say this. I am actually looking forward to this game. I think it's going to be
thumbtacks.
Yeah. Thumbtacks. I really they've been putting out some doggone good games these last few years. Now, Paul, I do have to ask you as well, from Dan's topics about games, as well as what we touched upon earlier, we wanted to ask you, because Dan brought on before you got on the line, he brought up Hiromu Takahashi coming to WWE possibly, since he's no longer with New Japan. What are your thoughts in putting in with Nakamura and having maybe Evil in there and
possibly Sonata
against the MFTs, like Nakamura's like Japan stable against the MFTs?
It could be a strong style stable that could definitely bring new life into WWE. I mean, especially on SmackDown, it's a 3-hour show. You just need to give people time on the show and allow them to do what they're going to do. You know, you can't just let them not. You have 3 hours to fill. It's like Raw. Raw is pretty much you kind of compressed it down to 2.5. Figure out what you can do in the meantime, in between things.
In between time.
Yeah, in the meantime and in between time. But things that work, for them. I mean, if it's good for them and it's good and it gives Nakamura another thing to do on the show, hey, I'm all for it.
Now, Paul, this is where I go to you, and then I will go last, and then we'll get into our topics. Your 3 topics, good sir.
My first one is actually Dean Malenko, the man of 1,000 holds.
Yes.
His daughter Marie Malenko actually debuted in Pro Wrestling Noah over the weekend. Congratulations to her for actually getting into the business. I mean, I don't know how much experience she has, as far as that. I just know that was something that popped up on my feed, and I thought it was very interesting because we know Dean Malenko. We know that he also was producer backstage for WWE for a number of years after he left his in-ring career behind. But I mean, is she going to have 1,000 holds too? I wonder.
I mean, Boris Malenko.
Well, Jericho had 1,001.
Armbar.
Oh yeah. And then he started naming them off, if I'm correct.
Number 1, armbar. But no, Boris Malenko had his wrestling academy. God rest his soul. Dean Malenko, great wrestlers. I mean, look at Rachel Ellering doing Paul Ellering proud and what she's doing out in the wrestling business. I think she's
going to talk about Tessa Blanchard, though.
No, we're not going to.
That name, that we don't say that name.
No. But I think with her, like you mentioned, her going into Pro Wrestling Noah, I think she's going to work out well. I would love to see her in a major company as well. But at this stage in the game, man, learn the strong style, learn the holds, learn the technical prowess. Do what you're going to do, man. I think she's going to definitely live up to her father's name. Dan,
you know what? And if I'm a betting man, I bet you she's only about 500 holds.
500? You're gonna
I'm gonna say about over or under 500.
Okay, Daniel, go. What do you think about?
You want to teach your kids everything. You know what I'm saying? You want them to learn on their own.
Daniel, your thoughts?
Is new, so I'm gonna say between 500 to 550.
Okay, that's a good wager.
I'm gonna keep it right in the, feel like that's like the sweet spot right there. No, she's still got time. She could still easily learn the other, 400 plus.
She's still young. She's still young.
So, Daniel, what do you think about this? What do you think? Possibly going major company in the future? What do you think about his daughter getting into the wrestling business?
Honestly, I'm a huge Dean Malenko fan. I fucking loved him in WCW. His matches with Ultimo Dragon, epic. Rey Mysterio Jr. I still remember the match they had. I think it was maybe June of '96.
I think it was 96, yeah.
Monday Nitro, MGM Studios, which was right at the entrance, because I watched it back because I could never figure out where that was. I remember thinking, oh, I know where that is now. Right there in Orlando, Florida. Keep Pop. Thank you, Mick Foley. And I just remember watching that match and how great it was. His matches with that guy that shall not be named.
Jericho.
Other guy.
I know.
That guy.
That guy.
We will refer to him as CB.
CB. Yeah, I like that.
They had a match. I think it was, I can't remember if it was Hog Wild or Road Wild. But they had a match where I think they went just about a half hour.
Yeah. I think it was Hog Wild.
Okay, yeah. I think that was the first one. Great match. I will say this till the cows come. Dean Malenko is so criminally underrated as a wrestler. The disrespect that Vince showed him as sort of a little James Bond character, the womanizer, that's not who he was.
I got to say, though, him and Scotty 2 Hotty Backlash 2000 is such an underrated light heavyweight title match. I will always say that. I will die on that hill. That was such a great match.
But Dean Malenko with anybody, even the late Eddie Guerrero.
Yes. ECW. Yep.
Him and Eddie.
ECW.
Him and Eddie would tear down the house. Halloween Havoc. Bash at the Beach in WCW. Anything in WCW that involved Eddie and Dean. I mean, man, you're talking about two guys that went after each other and would put on a damn show. And still,
his with Jericho.
Yep. I mean, even the stupid stuff with Lita, like Lita and him, it was fun. Even though the character was not him at all, but him and Lita had some fun with their little feud.
I still remember. I believe it was Slamboree. You know where I'm going. That's not Cyclope. That's Dean Malenko.
Yes, where he takes the mask off. Yes.
You know, people always give Lex Luger shit for overselling, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Like there's videos of Luger overselling. You gotta call out Tony Schiavone too.
Oh yeah, I know.
But that whole feud with Jericho was just incredible. Like, so if she's anything like her father, I'm excited. And I would be shocked if she doesn't end up in AEW within the next 5 years.
Agreed.
That would probably be my first landing spot for her. I believe if she's going to go into a major company, I believe AEW is probably going to be her first landing spot.
They'll let her keep the name.
Yes, let her keep.
Unlike a company that shall not be named.
Yep, I'm aware.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
I believe in Joe.
No, he must not have heard us. He's celebrating with a little bit in the public.
Now, Paul, what is your second topic, good sir?
We found out this past week, actually a few days, this past Sunday, that ROH Women's Champion Athena will be challenging the New Japan Pro Wrestling Women's World Champion Shuri for the title February 27th at New Japan New Beginnings in Trenton, New Jersey. I have a feeling this is going to be one of those matches that are probably going to be in AEW at some point in time. Forbidden Door probably, but man, for this to happen at New Beginnings, I can't wait for I really, really can't wait to watch them two go at it, because if you watch any of Shuri's freaking matches over in even in Stardom, even when she was there, she was still kicking ass on everybody. Shout out to Alex, Queen of the Ring, that loves to show the House of Joshi on her channel, because that girl right there, along with so many other women in Stardom and in New Japan, I mean, are just phenomenal wrestlers, and will go out there and whoop somebody's ass given the opportunity. And I get paid for it. So you know what? If I'm gonna spend my hard-earned money for a woman to kick my ass, it would be one of them.
Is she the one that was in the All In Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal?
I believe so.
Okay. So I had to double check that. But yeah, no, I've seen her work, and I'll go with you with Athena. I've always found her to be so underrated. When she was on the main roster, NXT, the first go-round was great. The second one, meh. When she got to AEW, did her thing. Ring of Honor was the forever champion. Very hard-hitting style, and I know these two are going to kill it. Dan, your thoughts on this matchup going down?
You know, I look at Athena, and I still get a sense of frustration knowing, God, fuck, what should have been in WWE. Like, her NXT run, the first one, was fucking insane.
Her and Shayna Baszler, that feud. Yep.
She was so over with the crowd. The crowd loved her. You know, you had adults loved her. Kids, she was over with kids. She should be a multi-time world champion in WWE still. But because Vince didn't see it, racism. Excuse me.
Wow.
Call it what it is, man. I mean,
tell me when I'm telling lies.
It's very true.
I'm sorry, but you look at Charlotte, you look at Becky, you look at Bayley. I mean, aside from Sasha, I mean, whose cousin is Snoop.
Yes.
I mean, aside from that, Ember Moon / Athena wasn't related to anybody popular.
Nia is also part of the bloodline, so there's that.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah, but you look at Athena as far as like her WWE run. Yeah, she had some being the NXT Women's Champion. Yes, she had some really, really good matches against Shayna Baszler. She got up to the main roster. She held her own with a lot of the women who were eventually the top of the mountain in WWE. You know, could be that mount on that Mount Rushmore. You know, and then of course we've seen what she's done in AEW, of course, with Mercedes Moné, / Sasha Banks. But you know, watching them together, they're awesome. I'm sorry, but their matches have just been great in AEW. That's something that they should have had in WWE. But
I think what screwed her too is look at the end of racism. I think if you look at her last title she won, what was it? Her and Shotzi were the NXT tag champs, women's tag champs during COVID. And like they did nothing with that because she even said in her interview with Chris Van Vliet that they wanted to make her a trainer when 2.0 was starting. And she's like, no, like I didn't come here to be a trainer. I came here to wrestle. So I don't blame her for wanting to get out because you're starting to do a heel turn and then you kibosh it because you feel like she'd be better fit as a trainer.
You know, I can't get over the fact, the suspicion that there's something going on back there that we don't know about. We know Vince liked to pressure people. Mm-hmm. And I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I would not be shocked if maybe overtures were made and no, I'm not doing that.
Well, I will say this because we're going to be getting even into more of that, unfortunately. So I have to ask you, Mr. Palmarellas, what's your third and final topic?
My third and final topic is actually Tommaso Ciampa winning the TNT championship. And it's oddly weird that he actually did it on literally his first night.
His first match.
After his debut, his first match in AEW. I mean, the Psycho Killer, man, that whole gimmick that he's going to start doing. Oh my God. I think it was kind of like an extension of what he did, that Blackheart character that he had in NXT. The first go around. And I think it's an extension of that. And I love it. I really, really love it. And I would love for him to go back to that type of character. You know, he was ruthless, and the stuff that he did to one Johnny Gargano, who was his best friend and who was his tag team partner in DIY, for them to do what they're going to do, or what they did, for him to do what he did to
Gargano,
to Johnny. That was just pure gold. And it was what the Black and Gold brand was about. I mean, add Adam Cole into that, but I mean, it's aside from Adam not being there, just what him and Johnny did was just magical, and it told the story.
You know, if God willing, Adam Cole is able to get healthy, which I haven't heard anything lately. I mean, personally, I don't think he's coming back. Honestly.
I don't either.
I think he's done. Which is super unfortunate, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother time. Maybe Mike and I will cover that in a future episode of Uncaged. Cheap Pop number 2.
Oh, we had 2. Oh, that's right. We have Mick.
If Adam Cole were able to come back, I would love to see him and Ciampa again.
With that feud that they had in NXT in 2019, I love it myself. Absolutely.
You know, I still remember Adam Cole and Undisputed Era. You know, they're in the ring, Cole's on the stage celebrating, and then you hear "No one will survive." You just see Ciampa slow walk and he's not looking at Adam Cole, he's looking at Goldie. Yep. Now he's got a new Goldie.
Yes, he does.
I'm wondering, are they just going to give him back the generic TNT title, or are they going to, which, to further Paul's point, from the story I heard, they reached out to him on a Sunday, got the deal confirmed on Monday, and he debuted on a Wednesday. Theme song is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
They got that done in like a day. Because they had to write it, perform it, show it to Tony Khan, and he had to be like, okay. In a day.
Wow.
You know what? If I'm a betting man, I think somebody wrote that. I'm pretty sure he had that in his back pocket. And I'm pretty sure he had an artist do it for him. So whoever the artist is that did the song for him, kudos.
I will bet you that Tony Khan has ideas of whom he wants, and he probably like, "Hey, make something for this person or for that person," and then if they become available, it's okay. I need it.
I think for me too, and I'll go on with what y'all are saying. I said this on Deeper to the Heart of Wrestling, which you could check out now. Cheap Pop number 3 on that one. When it comes to Tommaso Ciampa, there's so many matches he can do, from Mark Briscoe, which we saw, Jay Lethal, dare I say, Will Ospreay, Moxley. There's so many dream matches that he could have there. But I said, then where do you go? MJF, thank you. But it's also where else do we go from there? Because Tony likes to blow his load too quickly, and thankfully he's not. And thankfully he's not a member of the Don Callis family yet. But I don't know. Give it a week. I am happy to see that he's the first ever AEW superstar to win a championship in their debut, which I think is really cool. So kudos to Tommaso Ciampa, man, doing his thing. And we got this psycho killer that we got in Ring of Honor now back into AEW. So kudos to Tommaso Ciampa, man, writing that story. Woo! So we will go to my 3 topics now. And I figure we start off with that girl. Y'all know what girl I'm talking about. The one, the only, Ava. And Ava would go on social media and stand on business.
Or did she?
Oh, and we will read what Ava had to say right here, right now, like a Jesus Jones track, baby. So she put this tweet out, and this is why she is also not on Twitter anymore. I believe she has deactivated. She wrote, "And now that I could say this with my full chest, fuck ICE and that entire administration." Woo! Yeah.
Talk about burning the fucking bridge.
That girl did not care at all.
She said, "Say it with your chest.
Say it with your chest. In jail by myself. You ready to go night-night?
You ready to go night-night?"
So this is what she wrote in her farewell. "This past Tuesday was my last appearance on NXT and subsequently WWE. Thank you to all who have cheered, watched, and supported me through my journey. While my decision to not renew my contract was very difficult, it's also a new turning point in my life. It has been an honor and privilege to be Ava." So I will say it like this, y'all. When it comes to Ava, her wrestling ability, not so much. But when they gave her the role as GM, I enjoyed it. I thought she was fine. She did her thing, gave her that TV time. I look at it from a stance like this. Look, I believe not too long ago, I believe it was a few weeks ago, they also cut her girlfriend, Tatiana Dumas, who was on LFG seasons 1 and 2. With that being said, I think she knows where WWE is with how they promote and who they go. I'm looking at you, Paul Levesque, with the White House and being on Fox News and the RF Kennedy Jr. vibe there. It's something like that where someone like her, seeing what these people are doing, and someone who is who is a black girl, and someone who like Tatiana Dumas and her are lesbians, seeing where this current administration is, they preach hate instead of love. So I think there's so many factors that she's like, I can't stance no more, and she got the fuck out of there. To me, I think she'll be fine. I think she'll work with her mother, with her production company. She'll do something with her dad. So I think
acting.
Thank you. Exactly. So there's so much stuff that she can do, but for her taking the stance that she did, I can rock with it. Daniel Crimmins, your thoughts on Ava leaving the WWE and that tweet? My goodness.
You know, in this day and age, it is so difficult for younger kids to stand on their own and speak their beliefs. And it's so easy to just go with the crowd. Like, she could have renewed her contract,
right,
and been fine, been a good little soldier, but she believes what she believes.
Yep.
Now, folks, whether you agree with her or not, that is not relevant here. What is relevant is that she spoke her beliefs. She stood up for herself, and she said, no, I'm not okay with this.
Not doing it.
And I'm cool. I'm so happy for her. Now, I would love to have been a fly on the wall when she had that conversation with her daddy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that went over all that well, but you know what? If she heard all that and said, she's like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm not staying.
No.
Good for her.
I agree wholeheartedly. And I look at it like this, man. I think much like the Mick Foleys of the world, you're going to see a lot of people like distancing themselves from WWE or just not wanting to renewing for their own beliefs and whatnot. So, Paul, I'll let you start with that one first. Your thoughts on Ava's tweet there and her leaving WWE.
Okay. Real name, Simone Johnson.
Yes.
I absolutely agree with her. Fuck ice. But aside from that, and fuck this administration. And fuck this administration. And I don't give a damn if you're fucking snowflakes and you guys hate the fact that you're piss asses and can't fucking take fucking criticism. That ain't my fault. That ain't a me problem. That's a you problem.
I mean, we're suing Trevor Noah, so it is what it is. That's the most important thing we got.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck with that.
And closing the Kennedy Center for 2 years because, well, everyone's canceling.
And nobody wants to go.
So ain't nobody want to be there. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yes.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yes, because everybody is going to be tuning in Sunday night to see Kid Rock headline the Turning Point USA event.
Yeah, that's what they're
Don't forget, since we gotta stay on topic here, don't forget that's WWE Hall of Famer Kid Rock.
You can piss right off with the WWE.
AKA Timu Dr. Phil.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you tell me
okay, well then you tell me, did Kid Rock ever get the ovation that one Bad Bunny did?
At the end.
Not one fucking time. Could Kid Rock get in the ring like Bad Bunny did? No. Oh, hell to the fuck no, he couldn't. Bob and his skinny ass fucking old Milwaukee smelling fucking cigarette fucking
do it better.
Like drinking because he does.
I remember as a kid. I remember him as a kid watching him at the 1999 VMAs at Ball with the Ball. He did not. He got a good reaction in 1999, but Bad Bunny now got a whole better reaction than he did back in 1999.
Oh, and let's not forget, Bad Bunny has Grammys.
Yes, he does. Kid Rock does not.
He's got a shitload of Grammys.
Yes.
How many does Kid Rock got?
0.
Goose egg.
Goose egg.
Nada. But yes, your career is measured by how many Grammys you get or how many awards you actually received. Let's just say Bob ain't on that list. Anyways, back to the.
I gotta make his point. Let me make this one. You got people from all walks of life, all different genres wanting to work with Bad Bunny. Who the fuck wants to work with Kid Rock?
Yeah.
Probably Morgan Wallen is at this point.
Morgan fucking Wallen.
Carl Art in a small town.
Chasing you like a shot of whiskey.
Him and his homie Jason Aldean, they probably want to work with him.
Burning going down. Burning.
Okay. So anyways, back to Simone.
Yeah.
So in my eyes, it's like her girl got released.
Yes.
And then she decided that she wanted, if my girl's gonna be released and she's gonna go do something else, hey, guess what? Guess who else is gonna go do something else? This girl right here, because she said, guess what? I'm out the door as soon as my contract's expired. And if she said I ain't renewing it, She said, my mama makes more money, so I can make more money with her. I can go over there. And then, of course, who her daddy is, but her daddy's a little bit more responsible and says, you need to make your money. And so guess what? She's probably gonna go into the business with her mom, which is probably a level up for her.
Yes.
I don't think she's gonna be the last one though.
No.
You're gonna see more.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that are probably gonna find their way out, and I'll go with one, Becky Lynch. What she said, about, she's tired of ice. She hates the ice, it
hurts people.
It hurts people and it's bad. She was kind of already hinting at the fact that, she ain't in agreement with it.
No, not at all.
As far as Becky goes, like, what's left for her to do?
Well, when it comes to Becky, I mean, right now it's just putting over the younger talent. She worked with Maxine. I think they're going to do something with her and AJ Lee with her part-time schedule at WrestleMania. But really,
she's going to probably drop it to AJ, is my guess.
We'll see what happens there. But I mean, to go on to your point, like with everybody dropping and stuff, like you mentioned with Ava, I always look at it from a stance like this. With today's current administration, it's not about political parties anymore. It's about right and wrong. And what you're seeing a lot of today's generation is a lot of wrong and a lot of hate. And like Bad Bunny said at the Grammys, we're not savages. We're human beings. We're all human beings. Spread love. It was one of the greatest Grammy speeches. I'll say that right now, because he said it with his heart. He said it with his chest, and he meant every single word of it. And it was beautifully done. So I look at it from everybody who really commented about everything that's going on. So much like he said with the snowflakes and that being Mr. Paul Morales, that's the problem with today's world. Everybody gets so butthurt that this administration, like the Kid Rocks of the world, has to counter that. We're in a day and age of culture wars instead of fighting like really the stuff that's most important in this world. So
the party that rails against cancel culture
is that party that is
the party of cancel culture.
Yep. Exactly.
You know what? I'm gonna say this because it's something that's mistakenly true.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what party you're affiliated. The fact is that we all disagree with our own party that we're affiliated with, as far as the opposing parties, because we don't agree with certain things that are done. And if you want to be in disagreement with certain things that are done, you don't need a donkey or an elephant as your moniker or as your mascot to disagree with something that's going on in the world or something that's going on here in the United States. If I disagree with someone being pushed in WWE, or if I disagree with somebody being pushed in AEW, or TNA, or New Japan, or any company, if I disagree with it, is that me being a hater towards everybody in that company? No, I'm just hating with the creativity of which they are pushing said individual. It was like Roman Reigns when Vince had Roman Reigns, and all Vince wanted to do was Roman Reigns in the main event, Roman Reigns in the main event, Roman Reigns facing for the title. It was always the same thing. Wash, rinse, repeat. If you disagree with something, disagree with it. Don't hate it. Don't hate somebody else because they think that this is something that should happen or this is something that shouldn't happen. But you have to come, there's going to come a point in time to where you have to legitimately think. We have Google, we have technology, we got shit on our phones to where we can pick them up and be educated. Not because somebody says it on some damn news program, but because we can look it up and say, oh, well, this is what they're trying to say. Oh, this is what it is. We can agree to disagree, but we could all come together and be, as one cohesive unit, as opposed to people who just considerably just hate and hate and hate. And as Bud Bunny says, we should just all love each other. We should love because we're all humans. We're not animals. We're human beings. We live here. We have to co-inhabitat together.
Exactly. And, at the end of the day, none of us are making it out of this alive. It's the fact of life. We're all going to go at some point. And I would just, to add on to your point, Paul, if you see something online that doesn't make you have these things, they call them cell phones, and you can go on there and you can check it out to see if it's true. But here's the thing, people, and this is what I would encourage you to do. Look at multiple sources. Don't just look at something that is going to confirm your preconceived bias. Look at opposing viewpoints. Look at multiple sources. Don't just look at where you always get your news from and be like, yep, that I knew it. That's what it was. That's what it was. I knew it.
Must be true.
The fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, I cannot remember where I saw that. 2 points. One, everyone wants to be heard, but nobody wants to listen.
Yeah. Amen. And
to also quote one of my favorite, I know what it was. It was Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. And to my second point, to quote one of my absolute favorite movies, the original Men in Black, the scene right before Will Smith is set to join, he says to Tommy Lee Jones' character, says to Kay, he says, why not tell people? People are smart. Tommy Lee Jones' character says, a person is smart. People are blind, dumb, panicky. They don't want to read. They don't have a clue, and they don't want one. Most people would rather be plugged into the matrix and be told who to hate. They would rather watch the news and be told, oh, hey, it's immigrants. Oh, hey, it's this person. It's that person. Use the tools available to you and see what's really going on out there. Here's another thought. Why not go to news sources outside the United States?
Uh-huh. It's one of those things for me, and I'll say two things.
Shout out to our homies outside the U.S. Y'all know who you are.
Yes. I think for me, too, is, I mean, you see all the crap with Bad Bunny, too. Like, for instance, number one, Puerto Rico is a part of the United States, ladies and gentlemen. Like, hello. And number two, I think in today's day and age, it's become so ridiculous that these people we worry about shit that doesn't need to be worried about. Let's worry about actual stuff that really needs to be focused and pivotal on.
Yes.
But we don't, because we got to worry about, oh my God, a Puerto Rican.
We're worried about who's playing the Super Bowl and not the fact that, hey, people can't afford their health insurance. People can't afford to get fucking groceries.
But that damn Trevor Noah made a joke. How dare he?
Again, snowflakes.
Now, this I just have to add before I move to my next topic, because I got to laugh. Paul, do you recognize anybody else besides Kid Rock on this? Do you know who Brantley Gilbert is, Lee Bryce, and Gabby Barrett?
No, and yes, I know who Brantley Gilbert is.
Who is Bradley? Who is Gabby
He's
Barrett?
some country singer.
They're all country singers, aside from Kid Rock, who is just an idiot.
And can we just add real quick? It's kind of funny that Kid Rock put himself front and center.
Well, he's the
And
headliner.
Kid Rock is the headliner.
And the one female that's playing is like her picture is so much smaller.
Yes.
Like, anybody else notice that?
I noticed. Yes.
Well, yeah, I noticed it, but
because everybody's
the All-American halftime show.
All-American.
Because everybody's got to listen to I Was Born Free for friggin' 20 plus minutes. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
so
because they're going to listen to Bomb, yeah. The
Boogies.
They're going to listen to that for about 20 minutes, and everybody and now, mind you, the halftime show is literally 20 minutes. So you're going to give each of these people what?
One song
a piece, and then they have to get off the stage. No, but we get to see Bad Bunny, and of course he's probably going to bring out other superstars aside, to kind of help him out. And of course, I wouldn't be surprised if he calls up Billie Eilish and says, "Oh yeah, mommy, you want to come? You want to come through?" And Billie's going to come through. Cardi B, another somebody else he has a song with. Cardi B going to come through.
Let's also add that people are like, "Oh, hey, they should have an American perform at the Super Bowl."
Puerto Rico.
So what does the NFL do? They say, "All right, we got you." Green Day's opening the show.
Brandi Carlile's fucking singing the national anthem.
What do you think Green Day is going to perform?
Yeah, they are.
You know they're gonna do it.
Yeah, I know they're gonna do it.
Can I also just say first and foremost,
I must be sitting here with my popcorn.
I'm just going to shout out the NFL too for not backing down and just sticking to their guns. Like, no, he's going to perform. I got to give a shout out to the NFL for that, for not backing down.
For so many years, I used to give the NFL a lot of crap. For not we won't just say the Super Bowl show. We could talk about the racism in the league and stuff that goes on as far as like the owners go. But when you're a president who is literally taking away from their top demographic, because I'm sorry, Latinos buy merchandise. I don't care if it's the Raiders, I don't care if it's the Rams, I don't care if it's the 49ers, and I don't care what team, and the Dallas Cowboys. And I don't care what other franchise you have in this country, around the NFL. All 30 of them represented by Black and brown communities. And I'm not taking anything away from white people. I'm not saying anything like that. What I'm saying is that predominantly a lot of go back to the 80s. Look at the people in the 80s. We used to dress. Look at Mr. Michael Larkin out there repping Clemson. He don't even like Clemson, but yeah, he's repping it. You know what I'm saying? He's a Duke fan, but you know what? He just don't want to admit it. Maybe he's a North Carolina Tar Heels fan, but he don't want to admit it.
This is also warm too, so
and it's warm because it's cold.
I don't want to hear you complain about the cold, Larkin.
But you get what I'm saying though. Is like we all rep, no matter what, we rep the teams that we like, and sometimes we even rep the teams that we don't like because we like the way the jersey looks or whatever have you. Throwback jerseys are beautiful. Sorry to say, throwback jerseys are fine, except for the Houston Astros, because I ain't rocking with them. Unless it's a Nolan Ryan one, but even then I'll have to cover the front where it says Astros. Sorry, I'm getting off topic here, but I'm saying like the league had went so many years with so much racism, and the fact that you have a president that's hitting their top dollar and that isn't supporting them, that's where you're going to find a lot of people that are just, a lot of these owners are just kind of saying, all right, I'm gonna back up.
Have you heard about the co-owner of the New York Giants? But yeah, let's all talk about how Bad Bunny playing at the Super Bowl is the issue here.
Well, as I go to my second topic, first of all,
before you do, Mike, let me ask you both this question.
Sure.
Who do you think would have put on a better match, Bad Bunny or Kid Rock?
Bad Bunny.
Give me the Bunny, man.
All day,
every day.
So, Ava, once more, we love you and good job.
Good luck on the next chapter of your life, Simone.
You go, girl. So, the next topic we have.
Yeah, come to my company. I need a general manager. I'll pay you. Yeah.
I'll pay you. I love you all. So,
ooh, that would be a shot in the.
Do it, Tony. Do it. Do it.
Dear Tony Khan, of all the times that I've told you, dear Tony Khan, Simone Johnson.
Just do it, even if it's just one time. Just one.
I don't even care if it's a one-off appearance. Simone Johnson.
Simone Johnson.
Thank you.
So, next topic we have to talk about. No worries. We're going to go to the TNA side. So, my next topic is they did the Feast or Fired reveal on TNA. Trey Miguel did not get fired again, as he was hoping that he wasn't. He gets a TNA International Championship shot against Stax. We also now that Eddie Edwards is going to get a TNA World Heavyweight Championship match. Eric Young is getting a TNA X Division Championship match. And Steve Macklin is fired. So, fired. So Steve Macklin gets the fired briefcase. I could see him going to AEW with his boo, Deonna Purrazzo. Maybe do some stuff in AEW Ring of Honor. If he goes back to NXT, he will not be a forgotten son. He will definitely be noticed. I wish Steve Macklin the best. He has improved so much since the Forgotten Sons days. He's really developed his own character and got to be himself and turn the volume up. So I will say this, Steve Macklin, and I'll start with Paul on this one. Your thoughts on him getting the fired briefcase and where does he go from here?
You know, it's weird because for as many people who have been fired from TNA and eventually got hired back, that wasn't one that I was expecting. But I think it could be one of those blessings in disguise, you know, and he could go over to AEW with his boo and be there and, you know, kick ass in that, you know, doesn't matter what title he goes for. I mean, he can go over there and kick ass against everybody. But if he wants to lay out his own, you know, footing, I think NXT could be one of those places that could be a place for him to, I want to say, thrive in, because now he's just by himself. Now he doesn't have to be with the Forgotten Sons and whatnot, like you said, Michael. So giving him this opportunity to go on his own, and you know, and you said he improved. He's improved so much over the last, you know, few years. So give him that opportunity and see what he can do with it.
Well, to go on to your point, it's one of those things when you had Gunner with him, which was ridiculous. That's what held him. The whole friggin' Jackson Riker there friggin' killed the friggin' Forgotten Sons push because he couldn't keep his mouth shut. So that was what hurt Steve Macklin back in the day. And that was not his fault. That was his partner being a do-to-do. And that's what cost them their push. So now that he's currently away from the do-to-do and has been for many years, he has a great chance to continue to shine. And I'll go with you, Dan. Your thoughts on Macklin getting the fired briefcase from TNA?
So I will say this. I'm not convinced he really is gone.
Okay.
Like a certain Alan Jones.
Oh, we'll get to that.
I'm not convinced. Especially considering the interaction that he and EY had.
Yes, that was very cool. I think we're going to go back to EY.
Honestly, you say AEW, but Deonna's not too thrilled there.
Well, that's my thing with her too. Like, they hardly use her. She's hardly on Ring of Honor. Mostly all you see her in is that SNHE college thing, or the SNHE, whatever the hell it is, that New Hampshire thing. You see her like studying on the computer and stuff. You only hardly see her in that commercial. That's it.
So maybe she decides she wants to go elsewhere.
If this was a time for Deonna Purrazzo to get out of Ring of Honor, I will say this to Deonna: go back to TNA, please. Can you go back?
Or, maybe
it's not that bad right now.
Don't go to WWE, please don't.
Go to NXT. I mean, hey, it's better than when she was there the first go round. Oh, speaking of that,
come to my company. Come to my company. I won't use you.
It's one of those things where it reminds me of just such horse shittery. Just, yeah. By the way, did you see Cora Jade's, before I get to the third and final topic, because there's more, and Paul, I will address the one that you posted in our chat just now. But did you see fucking Elena Black, Cora Jade? Everybody was giving her shit because she came off like having such an ego. So she was on Busted Open, and she said this. She was initially hesitant to join TNA due to the WWE partnership. Speaking on Busted Open Radio, she admitted that she initially felt the need to distance herself from with TNA and WWE's NXT brand frequently collaborating. She worried the proximity would be too close. However, she noted that taking time off helped to reset. I think maybe more so in the beginning, I was hesitant to come to TNA just because of how close the relationship was. I kind of felt like I needed to distance myself. I feel very more far removed than I did at the time. Regarding her motivation, Black says she isn't driven by revenge, but rather a love for the game. My focus is just having fun and loving wrestling again. And hey, if that comes from being like, damn, we messed up, we should have kept her, then hey, so be it. But that's not what I'm looking to accomplish, I guess. So a lot of people were on her like, the ego of this girl, like, they WWE messed up and firing her and all that. But I got to say something. If time heals all wounds, if she goes back to WWE for her, dating Casey Navarro now in TNA, and they're looking to establish her to go against Lei Yingli for the TNA Knockouts title. So let's go. What do you guys think?
You give her an opportunity, and everything that she had went through, while away from WWE. We could talk about her taking time away because of the hate that she was getting online, and then a lot of the depression that she dealt with. Internally, but you go back to some of the things that had happened to her. She had so much high praise from one Phil Brooks, CM Punk. And they thought, she was going to be one of those people that, everybody wanted to see as a NXT champion, if not North American champion. They wanted her to see it as an NXT champion, and so many people thought that too. And it didn't happen. And then she got released, and it was like, okay, so what happens next? Well, what happens next is it gives her an opportunity to do something different. And she left. She started working the indies, and unfortunately, depression kind of kicked in, with some of the things that people were saying online and telling her, and a lot of the fan abuse that she was enduring. You were better in WWE. You never should have left, and it's like, they let her go. Which part of that do you not understand? And then she decided that she didn't want to go back. She could have easily worked the indies and did like Matt Cardona or Chelsea Green and, anybody else who's left and come back. Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, anybody. She could have done that, but unfortunately she got so much hate and so much internet abuse from the internet. It was like, why would you want to come back? She lost that love and that passion for being a wrestling fan, and I don't blame her for taking the time off.
What are your thoughts, Daniel? Because you actually made a great point, Mr. Paul Morales. We're actually going to play Chelsea Green up next. What are your thoughts on this, Daniel?
Say it right, Michael.
Chelsea Green. Your thoughts on the Elena Black situation?
You know what? I am so stoked for her. And all these people that bullied her on Twitter, X, get a fucking life.
Yep.
People, I can't remember, I think it was Rhea that said it, how she said, some of you people are the reason why women's wrestling is not taken seriously.
Amen to that. Speaking of women in professional wrestling, we're going to go to Chelsea Green. There you go, Daniel. I did it up that time. I hope that did a little bit of justice there, Daniel. So, Chelsea Green was recently on, and we'll give a shout out to this podcast. She was on the Getting Over Wrestling podcast, and she addressed Michael Hayes' comments about her on WWE Unreal. And here is that clip.
One of the WWE producers said some like less than flattering things about you, and then about, I guess, what was it that he was saying? I guess that you're just there to help the other wrestlers or something along those lines. And what was it like watching that back?
This is tea, ladies, because I have not done media since this came out, and this really ruffled some feathers. So one of the head producers of WWE, his name is Michael Hayes. He works very closely with our boss, Triple H, and he basically on Unreal said, you know, Chelsea makes the most out of her time, so we don't need to give her 30 minutes. We give her 30 seconds, and she does the same work, which is great because she's not meant to be here for 30 minutes. She's not meant to be the top girl. She's meant to elevate all those girls to be in that top position, to be a main eventer, which, you know, it's crazy because I'm a self-aware human being. So I know my kind of like place on the totem pole, in this fake hierarchy that is wrestling, but to actually hear it, to actually hear that there was a ceiling put on me, it's different. Like,
Yeah.
You can't help but be pissed off and a little upset and just aggravated at the fact that you thought that there was maybe a chance that there wasn't that ceiling, that maybe it was all in your head, and then it was confirmed, and it wasn't confirmed to me. It was confirmed on national television.
And that was Chelsea Green on her thoughts. On Chelsea
Green.
Thank you.
That's better.
All right. Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
I agree with everything she said in that 1.5-minute clip. Like, you couldn't just talk to the girl about it. You had to air it on Netflix, on the Netflix series. Go ahead, Daniel.
To quote The Dark Knight, and here we go.
Go ahead, Daniel.
I think it's fucking bullshit that you choose these moments to fucking embarrass her. What the fuck do you think is gonna happen?
Right.
You know, you can't at least warn her ahead of time, being like, hey, just so you know, this is gonna come out on Unreal.
Mm-hmm.
And it came from Michael Hayes.
Michael Hayes, which we actually got crap on our last video for it. I figured I mentioned this on the show. So I put up this short. Yes. So there were some comments. So I put up a short on the YouTube channel about the whole Chelsea Green thing and us talking about it. And here's the thing, to a certain person that said, have more respect because Michael Hayes is a legend. We respect Michael Hayes. We were not saying that we don't respect Michael Hayes. We're saying that his opinion of her is very out of touch, much like Road Dogg, because of the fact like this girl is more than the secondary title. She's one of the top draws as far as merch.
So let me address that.
Okay.
Oh, so we should automatically respect someone just because they're a fucking legend. So Hulk Hogan making racist remarks, we should excuse that.
Right.
We should excuse Ric Flair's behavior. We should excuse Pat Patterson.
Right.
Because
Jimmy
he's a legend.
Superfly Snuka.
Yep.
Who was on trial for fucking murder. You know, I'm gonna say this, but there's ways of handling something, and then there's ways of not doing it.
Well,
what Michael Hayes did was wrong. How would you like it to this chuckle fuck that made this comment? If your boss, where you work, if they made a TV show and one of your bosses made a comment about you and just said, hey, this person's good, but I think this is as high as they'll go in the organization. They didn't tell you they made that comment. They waited for that comment to air on TV. To where your family, your friends, your colleagues, the entire world saw that. You'd be fucking embarrassed. But, oh, it's okay. We got to give him a pause because, hey, he's a legend. Let me ask you this. Do you also think we should give Vince McMahon a pass on all the shit he did.
Right. So the comment that was made, and look, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but what the gentleman wrote under it is because actually this addressed you, Daniel. Michael Hayes is a wrestling legend. Have a little more respect. His opinion is his opinion. That doesn't mean it's time to go, because Daniel did mention on the last show that when it's time to go, it's time to go. It's his job to think about who is or isn't fit yet. When Chelsea's time comes, his opinion may change.
Okay. Sure, Dan, go ahead.
Sure, Dan, go ahead. Daniel?
Michael Hayes has made it very clear. His opinions are based on what worked in the past. You got to look at it this way. Look at the higher ups in the women's division. Becky Lynch probably isn't going to be around a whole much longer. Charlotte, probably not.
No.
Bayley, I would be shocked if Bayley doesn't leave when her contract is up.
Mm-hmm.
Natty, I'm not convinced she's going to be staying around forever. But hey, I should excuse every single person that makes a bullshit comment like that just because they're a fucking legend. I can acknowledge Michael Hayes' contribution to the professional wrestling industry.
And his role as a producer, absolutely.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
But this opinion that he has that, she's at the ceiling, that doesn't indicate that his opinions are going to change. That indicates that, hey, she's going as far as she's going to go. That's it. Right. You know who else that they had those opinions about? Dolph Ziggler.
And Dolph Ziggler exceeded that when he won the world title. One of the best Money in the Bank cash-ins ever.
Oh, but sure. He's a legend. Oh, I should automatically say, your opinion. Fuck you.
So, Paul, you want to comment about Chelsea Green's response to Michael Hayes?
Let me start with the comment.
The comment, okay.
Again, we can all sit here and say, yes, Michael Hayes
is a legend.
Contributed to wrestling with the Freebirds and on his own. Yes, we can all agree with that. Now, as far as this backstage role that he's had for a number of years,
right,
both under Vince and now under Triple H, for your boss, as my boy said, for your boss to come at you and tell you, or not tell you, but say they were doing a video for work, to help encourage people at work, to show them the behind the scenes of things that happen at work. But your boss ends up telling, or we'll even say like your assistant manager or your assistant boss, whatever, supervisor, decides to come up and say, hey, guess what? This person, that they've reached the highest of the high, we're not really we don't really think that they'll go any higher than that in the company. And then you watch this video and it comes back to you and you're like thinking to yourself, why wasn't I fucking told this shit when I got here? Why am I finding this out through a video?
Through Netflix.
You would be so fucking angry and so fucking pissed too. And it would be so disrespectful that the time that you spent at your job, that now that those people, you hear it from their mouths, that your ceiling is where you're at. You would be so totally pissed, even though they keep encouraging you, be the better worker, do this, do that. You'll move up in the company. But now you really know how they feel about you. That would fucking suck. And I'm sorry, Chelsea Green has every right to feel how she feels. And for fans to react the way that they are, I am fucking pissed off because I'm sorry. That girl deserves so much better. You look at Jade Cargill. I'm sorry. She's not on fucking Chelsea Green's level.
No.
And Jade is nowhere near any of the women that are on that level. She's about where Kiana James is at right now but they brought her over from AEW and made her this big star, but she hasn't defended the title.
Right.
They gave her the title and she hasn't defended it. Over 110 days and she hasn't defended it. This is Roman Reigns shit. But she isn't Roman Reigns. I'm sorry. We could sit here and argue with it back and forth, but Chelsea Green, with where she's at, popularity-wise,
merch-wise,
is so beyond. She's in that upper echelon of Charlotte, Bailey,
Alexa.
You got kids dressing up as her.
Yep.
Oh, and shout out to Deonna Purrazzo. Shout out to all her friends who were wearing her hat in support of her, who bought her hats in support of her. Shout out to all of those amazing, amazing wrestlers. And we'll have a whole bunch of them because I'm going to take all their pictures and we're going to plaster them all right here. But shout out to every single one of these women that showed Chelsea some love. And by the way, you're entitled to your opinion.
You are.
It's not right. It's not right. Of course, it's not actually wrong, but it's also not exactly right.
No. To the individual that wrote that, you're entitled to your opinion, but still, this woman has every right to feel the way that she does.
As if.
The last thing I think that needs to be said.
Yes.
One of the things that you need to do is have multiple people ready that can fill in a spot. I'm not saying make her, the unbeatable champ. No, give her a chance. She is getting great crowd reactions. So shouldn't you maybe give her a chance?
Right.
Okay, hold on. Let's go to her first title reign as women's inaugural United States Women's Champion. Look at what she did. That popularity, that pop, as soon as you hear her music, she's over. She is so over. But much like Vince McMahon, Paul Levesque doesn't want to push that button to elevate her to that stature.
He's afraid.
I look at it from the NXT side, and I'll add on to your guys' point. When her and Ethan were going against Tavian Heights and Tyra May Steele from LFG, it was supposed to be America versus Canada. She tried her hardest to be the heel and crap on the NXT fans and everything, but it didn't matter because they loved her because she's so over and she's so entertaining that they booed Tyra May Steele. And mind you, she has a lot of work to do, but Tyra May Steele, she's trying to help Tyra May be the American hero babyface. And the crowd didn't want it. They wanted them some Chelsea Green.
She begged this guy.
Yep.
She begged him to go to Mexico because she wanted to be in Triple A.
Yes.
She wanted to be on that card.
Mm-hmm.
And she begged him and pleaded with him until he said, fine, I'll put you on the card, but you're only going to do this. She knocked it out of the park. And the pop that she got in Mexico City
when they won the titles
was far better than anything that was far better. It tells you the story of how over Chelsea Green is. So yes, she is very much deserving of being in that top spot. Whether she's a transitional champion or whether she's an actual, hey, guess what? I'm going to give you 200 days as champion. Bam. That girl will knock it out of the park. You know it. I know it. And every WWE fan, I guess with the exception of you, sees it.
Yeah. So we'll go to someone who is definitely associated with Miss Chelsea Green. The one and only Piper Niven commented about her current situation, and she wrote back to a fan saying, I'm in a good spot right now. I'm sorry I've been so quiet with you guys. I appreciate every single message and every tweet I get, even if I haven't liked or responded. The truth is I've been so quiet as I know you have questions, but the fact of the matter is I don't know yet. It's 5 months on, and some days when it's bad, I can't stand up for more than a few minutes, if even a minute. Do I want to come back? Of course I do. This is all I've done, all I've wanted to do since I was 16 years old, and I can't imagine doing anything else. I still love it as much as I did the first day I started, and I feel like I was really just starting to get confident again and open up and hit my groove. So all this to say, I hope so. Keep your fingers crossed for me. Piper Niven, we love you, and we want to see you come back. We're all going to do the fingers crossed right here. Fingers crossed.
I'm trying to remember, how did she get hurt again? It was a neck, right?
Yeah, when she was doing it, what was it, onto Nikki Bella or somebody? Like a senton or the running elbow that she does or something she landed wrong?
Yeah, and it was one of those just like
freak accidents.
Yeah, like what's his face from the from goddamn it, Kip Wilson's tag team partner.
Oh, Kit Wilson and Elton Prince.
Elton Prince, yeah, when with Axiom and that reverse DDT and
him landing on the back of his neck. Yeah.
Him landing on the back of his neck. It was a freak accident. It happens. We can't all
look at Tyson Kidd.
And Tyson Kidd has made a career. As a producer.
But you made a career out of it. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. And I want to see Piper back in the ring.
So do I.
And for her to be part of the Secret Hervis, I would love absolutely love to see her back out there and in the ring. She's a talent. Don't get me wrong. I mean, even before she got to WWE, I mean, she was always a talent. I just think I just feel like this is just the setback, and God willing, she gets to where she needs to, and she gets back in that ring and gets healthy again.
I think looking at this is she went through so much. She went through that bullshit dewdrop gimmick
with Eva Marie, yeah.
And the crowd was digging the Secret Hervis gimmick. They still freaking are. It's I really hope she's able to come back.
Me too. And
Piper, come back. We miss you.
Love you. So one other thing I will go to. We have two more things before we get to our main topics, and one of them is Uncle Dave, but I'm not going to do Uncle Dave next.
Dude sounds like Homer Simpson eating donuts.
So what other one I got to mention? One other thing I had to mention, I mentioned this to Dan because he was talking about advances, and this woman was around during the Vince McMahon era of WWE, and she was also in TNA. So Brooke Adams, who was in Extreme Expose on WWE on ECW, the former Miss Tessmacher, Brooke Tessmacher in TNA, former Knockouts champion and Knockouts tag team champion with Tara, aka Victoria. She was on SoCal Val's podcast. She did an interview with SoCal Val, and this is one of the things that got a lot of people attention from women's wrestling and just wrestling in general. So she was asked about women's wrestling now, and I'm going to play you the 2-minute clip. So here was what her thoughts on women's wrestling, and the quote that got everybody talking is she said, "Why can't we be sexy anymore?" And this is what Brooke Adams had to say.
Now looking back, for me, I love being called a sex symbol. A lot of people are like, oh, but you're just thrown into that little sexual role. Again, wrapping back into how I made, my entrance into TNA, like you have to develop a character. You have to develop something for the fans to like. And for me, I've always leaned into, okay, I'll use my body, use my looks. That might not be for everybody, okay? And you'll find your knack. And for me, that's just a way to enter yourself into future storylines. It's not a forever. Figure out a way to get through it. Lean into the fans that do love you. I mean, we were pulled over at a gas station and these 3 girls jumped out after a show dressed like us. And it was like, we're doing something right. It was a really good moment that we really needed, to keep going.
Yeah, and isn't that so nice to see? Like, this sounds kind of silly. We do these signings, and you're always so great with the fans. We'll get to that in a moment. But when you see female fans, like, oh my god, a girl! Like, it's so nice to see females. Yeah. Yes. And by the way, we have so much to talk about, but just quickly, because you are my type of girl. Like, if I didn't know you and I was watching wrestling, why do I want to cry? I just love the sex symbols. I loved the Torys and the Stacys, and I would have been like, I want to be Brooke. When did it stop being cool to want to be sexy?
I don't know. I wish I knew. I can't stand it. And I get it a lot because now I have kids. I'm a mom. They're like, oh, now all of a sudden I really can't. And I'm like, why? I am not standing here butt naked in front of my kid, prancing around, oozing or whatever. What I prance around as is confidence. And my daughter's going to be confident, and when she's old enough to see all the things I've done, she's still very, very young. But I don't understand why all of a sudden you can't be sex anymore. You can't lean into being a sex symbol. It's wrong wanting to be a sex symbol. Honey, I grew up wanting to be Sable, and like Sable was it for me. I'm like, yes, but give me China vibes. But I'm so little, I want that vibe, but I want to be sexy and I want to be like Tori, and like that was just Carmen Electra was my vibe. The Jenny McCartneys McCarthy's were my vibe. Like, and I don't understand at what point when we couldn't all lean into that. You know,
Same.
like it just became like a thing, and now everything's like really dark and everything.
Yeah, everyone loves us for liking that kind of stuff, and I'm like, okay, so our era was lingerie and bikini contests. Cool. Then I watched the girls now. Let's be real honest, and I'm like, yeah, we're wrestling in less than a bikini, but we're the ones that should be ashamed. No, we're not going to.
I don't get it.
No, we're not going to shame other girls for wanting to be sexy and do the photo shoots. No, because you were always really good about being a strong, fierce wrestler, but then you were obviously so, beautiful in your photo shoots and things like that. But
do you want to let Mr. Beauty, Strength, and Dominance take this one first?
Go for it.
So, as someone who works with women, thank you. Someone who works with women in lingerie, you do realize that I always spread the message of that, the 3 key elements that make women the work of art that they are, how it flows within LFC. We have a lot of beautiful women, internal and external beauty. Yes, there's that lingerie sexiness and appeal, but also at the same time, too, these girls are trained athletes. We have a lot of girls coming in from the indies. We have a lot of girls who have been in the major companies that have been out there. But I also look at it from a stance of this. There's also women who have done Golden Gloves champions that want to showcase their sexiness. There's something for everybody, and a lot of these girls feel empowered to do so, and they're using that platform to it. To go on to what Brooke said, it's never stopped not being sexy. Like, we have a lot of sexy women there, dare I say. Rhea Ripley, she's a badass, she's strong, and she can wrestle. We have Raquel, like Daniel mentioned, Raquel Rodriguez, the Roxanne Perez's, the Liv Morgans. These girls are badass, they can wrestle, and they're beautiful. So we're still in the era of sexiness, but minus the lingerie and minus the bra and panties matches. So we're still there. You're just either not looking, or you're just not able to comprehend the way of sexiness that it's being interpreted nowadays to when it was during your day. And Dan, I'll let you speak on this.
So I would respectfully disagree with Brooke Tessmacher here.
Yes.
And the reason I'll say that, as I've calmed down from, because I'm going to get angry again. I don't like being angry. I like being happy.
Happy Dan. Happy days for Happy Dan.
So,
Lieutenant Dan.
These women are still sexy. They're all beautiful women. And you can still aspire to be that. But here's the thing. Do you want to settle? Would you want to tell your children to settle for mediocrity?
Yeah. And we've come a long way since those
days.
It's not 2006 anymore.
Exactly. Like, you look at people like EO, look at JC Jane.
Yep.
People like badass women who look great but can still kick ass in the ring. Look at somebody like Rhea.
Yep. Fallon Henley.
Exactly. You have little girls meeting Rhea crying because they're meeting their hero.
Yep.
You had somebody like Paige who was the same thing. People meeting her crying.
Yep.
Because there was somebody that looked like them. There is nothing wrong with wanting to look great. Every single woman on the roster looks fucking incredible.
Even I.
Exact. Paul knows what we're talking about.
You just dropped 100 pounds. Like, she looks fantastic.
Bathwater says what?
Hi, Amir. Hi, Doctor.
Hi, Amir.
Amir.
When are you going to join us, Amir?
Come on, Amir.
But you get the point I'm making. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be sexy. But at the same time, all these women are fucking incredible women. Like, how often do we see that we say it on this show? Hip Hop number 10 million.
4.
No, it's 10 million.
All right.
I'm saying it's 10 million.
Okay.
Bigly numbers.
Bigly numbers.
How many times have we seen it where the women's matches have been better than the men's? War Games, almost each and every year, is better than the men's one. Because the women are fucking kicking ass each and every single freaking time.
Yep.
You got people like Rhea who could do it. Honestly, I could see Rhea kicking a lot of the guys' asses.
I mean, Lyra Valkyria, Bailey, we'll be here all day.
Love me some Bailey.
Yeah. Now, Paul, do you want to also chime in on what SoCal Val and Brooke Tessmacher had to say?
We go back to those TNA days and we look at what a lot of them were wearing. Beautiful people. We can look at the beautiful people and look at what they're wearing. And you go back and you look at what someone like Gail Kim and Awesome Kong and Mickey James. Yeah, they were wearing stuff that was a little bit more revealing, but you know what? Those were girls that could go out there and whoop some ass.
Yeah.
Sarita and Rosita, Sarah Stock and Zelina Vega.
Yeah. And, you know, rest in peace to Daphne, another woman that can go out there and had sex appeal, even though she was in her goth era. She could still go out there and kick ass with the best of them, you know. But you go over to the WWE side. What was it every fucking week? It was a bra and panties match. It was a
mud wrestling
match. It was whatever soap in the freaking pool fucking match or whatever match that fucking Vince got a hard on off of. You know, it was there for them for his entertainment, not so much for the wrestling. You know, it was just whatever was there. And a lot of those women, yeah, if you've given them an opportunity, I'm pretty sure someone like a Christy Hemme can go out there and whoop some ass if you've given her an opportunity, or she had a performance center to go train to get better as a wrestler. But it took a lot of these women who were really, really great athletes, Mickey James, Gail Kim, to go away from the company to hone that craft.
And it's funny you bring them up because I always go back to like when Mickey James and Gail Kim had that one match on Raw. Like, do you want to go back today where you look at those two caliber of wrestlers, they could fucking tear it down, and they didn't TNA, but WWE only gave them like 2 minutes, and it was shit because they only have this amount of time that they got back in the day.
The other one was Lisa Marie Verone, Tara, who was Victoria in WWE. Another one that was a phenomenal wrestler. But oh my God, why is she always in these bra and panties matches? Why is she always out there in her bra? Or why is she always out there wearing half of nothing just to go out there? And Lita, another one. Trish Stratus, another one.
Yep.
You know, Jazz. Jacqueline. Ivory, another one. Oh my God, so many women who were so talented. Vince used to get mad at the women who would go out there and have better matches than the men, and then he would send them back out there, you know, don't do as much of the hitting. Like, why? You're mad because they hit harder than the men do? Because they're wrestling better than the men are?
Michelle McCool told the story on The Undertaker, the podcast that they do, where it's just like, hey, we had to redo the match because, you know, it was better than the men's.
Yeah, and that's what sucks is like we go back to that era of WWE, and there were a lot of beautiful women, and we could even go to WCW, even with the Nitro girls. A lot of them. Stacy Keibler, another one that was Tori Wilson, another one.
Yep.
Chyna, Sable, all these women that were so beautiful and so damn sexy. Why were they narrowed down to just being about their bodies and not their body of work that they could do in the ring?
That was my thing too. It's one of those things where I looked at it like, you look at the TNA run of like all of these women, like you mentioned the beautiful people, dare I say Madison Rain, then given time. Tracy Brooks even got better from where she used to be. My God, like she got better. Christy Hemme, like you mentioned earlier, like her storyline with Awesome Kong, and she improved. They got her away from the Rock and Rave infection stuff. They actually let her wrestle, and she was actually really good for the short time before she got hurt. So we're in a different time period now is the point, Brooke Adams and SoCal Val. It's not 2006 anymore when you were in the WWE, Brooke. It's 2026. There's more to it than just the lingerie and everything. There's more to it. There's more that meets the eye. You just have to look at it through the right lens. So
and shout out to Brooke Adams and Frankie Kazarian. My cousin's son goes to school with their son.
You mean Tracy Brooks?
Tracy Brooks. Yeah, she goes. Their son goes to school with my cousin's son out in Yucca Valley. So, you know, they've seen them at a lot of the PTA meetings and a lot of the stuff out there. My cousin just happened to randomly message me one day, and she goes, "Do you know somebody named Frankie Kazarian?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's all like, "Oh well, his son goes to school with my son," and I was like, "Are you fucking shitting me?" She goes, "Why? Is he famous?" Yeah.
Yeah.
I go, "I'm sorry, you're not a wrestling fan. So obviously you don't know." She goes, "Well, obviously you know." "Well, duh." I go, "I also know his mother. I also know their mother, the mother of his wife."
Yes.
She goes, "Oh, Tracy?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like, "Oh, yeah. Well, yeah." I go, "She was a wrestler too."
Well, someone we know that we don't like. We're about to get to him.
Dave is great.
Dave is amazing. So Dave Meltzer talking about Billy Gunn, and Eric Bischoff chimed in on this too, but Eric Bischoff made some sense. I'm not going to hate on Eric Bischoff.
Be happy.
Yeah. So this is what Dave Meltzer had to say about Billy Gunn and whatnot, and here's Dave's stupid ass.
Don Callis put him over. He's like Kyle Fletcher. Paul White is like, I wouldn't say he's like the level of Billy Gunn, and I'm thinking like, dude, Billy Gunn on his best day isn't half the level Fletcher is today. Matt, probably not even a third. You know, it's like, but Billy Gunn is from that era, so he must be better than these guys. And it's just kind of like Kyle Fletcher legitimately might be what, top 5, top 7 in the world. Think Billy Gunn was ever top 200?
I don't want to say that, but I will say it was never top 5.
Wait, there were probably 10,000 wrestlers around the world. Okay, you know, top 200 is a pretty high thing. He wasn't, I mean, top 200 famous, absolutely, because he was in WWE and was a star. But I mean, top 200 worker, when you're talking about Japan and Mexico, not a chance. Those guys, there's so many, like if you do today, top 200, number 200 guy, pretty fucking great, you know, out of all these guys all over the world. But, you know, it was just like, come on, you know, like, not only that, but it's like Kyle Fletcher's the freaking future of this company. It was also interesting that Austin took the pin. It's like, wait a minute. Austin shouldn't be the one taking the pin.
So that was Dave on that front. We got a couple more. So here was Eric Bischoff.
Real quick, I want to address what he said. When he said that Billy Gunn has never been top 200.
Yeah.
Davey Boy, Numbnuts, Annoying Sack of Crap.
Yep.
1999 PWI 500 Billy Gunn was number 39.
Wow. Okay, so you got him on that one. Very nice, Daniel. Very nice.
Tag Team of the Year, Billy Gunn in 1998. Tag Team of the Year, 2002 with Chuck. Ranked number 231 in the top 500. See, and he was ranked 43 of the top 100 tag teams in the PWI years. So clearly, I'm right. You're wrong. You lose. Good day, sir.
Damn straight.
Nothing for you.
Nothing for you, Mr. Wonka. Okay, so we'll go to Eric Bischoff's comments about that, and then we'll
Bischoff.
Then we'll go to Billy and Dave once more. Here's Eric Bischoff.
Dave is an irrelevant idiot, a social misfit, and completely out of touch. And if there's ever been any doubt as to how out of touch Dave Meltzer is, that comment should take care of it. It's about the business of the wrestling business. Kyle Fletcher couldn't draw flies if he had a main event in a barnyard. He's athletic as hell. And maybe, you know, he has a lot of potential. But to make a statement like that for a guy that literally could walk through the lobby of this Marriott hotel that I'm in McDonough, Georgia, and I would bet you if there's 50 people downstairs right now, 49 of them wouldn't know who he is. and probably would, would ask him to point them to a good restaurant or come and take care of a mess in their room. It's just the dumbest statement, but it's typical Dave. He's got his own following of social misfits, just like him. People don't have anything going on in their life other than to pretend they know a lot about the wrestling business. And look, Dave is the king of that. He has convinced everybody, including you, that he's got a unique perspective on the wrestling business, and he really doesn't. He's very knowledgeable about the history of it, but in terms of what makes wrestling work, what makes it successful, what makes people watch, what makes people tune in, he's as clueless as anybody I've ever talked to.
And that was Eric's thought on Dave. And then we got two. We'll give the two from Billy. So here was Billy on 2 words from Meltzer.
No part of me that said I was the greatest wrestler in the world, but you're not going to say I was never in the top 200. Because wrestling was never in my thing to do. It's what do I need to do to entertain these people to come back and see me? And I've proved that because every time you give me something, I knock it completely out of the park. I don't bitch and moan. I just do the best that I can. And that's what I want people to know. I'm not doing this for fame or glory. That's not what I do. I do it because I get to work with my kids. I get to work with kids that I coach at the performance center. And even those kids said, this is going to be awesome working with you because I grew up watching you and now I'm going to be in the ring with you. How much fun is that?
Of Billy Gunn right there. And we'll play the other one from Busted Open, and then we got one more for Dave, and then we'll take it in and drink it in, man.
Because we had to cancel Collision, so we have to tape it now, and we don't have a full roster. So what do you do when you do that? You mix and match and have some fun. Now he says, well, why don't you tag with Austin against Kyle and Takeshita? And I went, oh, Lord. That would be awesome. Please throw me in there with the top 2 racehorses you have, and this old guy can. But it was just something fun for me and Austin to do. If you listen to the people are never out of this match. So it's just fun. It's just take it for what it's worth. Don't read into it. There's no part of me that ever said I was the greatest wrestler in the world. But you're not going to say I was never in the top 200. Because wrestling was never in my thing to do. It's what do I need to do to entertain these people to come back and see me? And I've proved that because every time you give me something, I knock it completely out of the park. I don't bitch and moan. I just do the best that I can. And that's what I want people to know. I'm not doing this for fame or glory. That's not what I do. I do it because I get to work with my kids. I get to work with kids that I coach at the performance center. And even those kids said, this is going to be awesome working with you because I grew up watching you and now I'm going to be in the ring with you. How much fun is that?
And finally, Dave had to comment about the top 200. So we will go to Dave Meltzer one last time on Billy Gunn.
Mike, why do you hate Paul and I?
Because it ties into everything. Here we go.
There are thousands of pro wrestlers. People think that the only wrestling is in the United States and the only good wrestlers are in the United States. And if I say top 200, do you know how many great wrestlers there are in Mexico? Do you know how many great wrestlers there are in Japan? And then the United States, there's hundreds. Saying guy's not top 200 is not an insult. It's actually, it was probably too nice. If I say someone's the 200th best wrestler in the world, that's a compliment in the world. Right? People won't take it that way. Obviously, some people didn't. And if you only watch WWE, you're just oh my God, he's out of his mind. What is he talking about? It's like there are so many great wrestlers in the world, and if you actually listed them, I mean, you would be surprised. If you think that the only wrestling is in the United States, and you think that that was an insult, I mean, look, it's not. I didn't mean it as an insult. I meant it as that's about as good as you're going to get because there are so many freaking great wrestlers in the world. And it really was clear to me. It was one of those things where I was making that remark this week about how if you think that the whole world is the United States, yeah, you're going to get really mad about that. The whole world's, and I made it very clear, the whole world's not the United States, and and there's so much to be learned, and there's so many great wrestlers that are out there, and it feels like that there's, I mean, you don't have to watch it all, but I mean, it's probably something that you should know is that like all the good wrestlers are not in WWE and AEW at all. It just like blew my mind, only because the people who watch all over the world, they're all like, you were way too nice. What did you didn't say anything wrong, but you were way too nice. There are thousands of pro wrestlers. People think that like
okay. So I will just say this. Billy Gunn has the right verbatim, right verbiage of what it was. He was filling in because of the weather, and he got to team with his kid, and that was a huge honor. And he got to take on Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita, who they're pushing to the moon. He was in there for fun. He trains. He gets to work with these kids, and that's what he loves doing. As someone at his age who still looks fantastic, it's not about him. It's about helping them. I even go back to TNA when he was Cute Kip and he was helping working with Angelina Love and Velvet Sky and the Beautiful People. There's so much that you can learn from Billy Gunn, and there's no disrespect to Kyle Fletcher, but he ain't at that level yet. So, all right, Dan, go ahead.
You know what? You know what it is? It's fucking jealousy.
Okay.
Billy Gunn and Dave Meltzer are very close to the same age. Dave might be, a year or two older.
I'm going to take a look. So hold on.
I think Dave's slightly jealous that Billy not only looks better than he does at that age, actually made something of himself in pro wrestling, is still relevant in pro wrestling after 30 plus years.
Okay, so
people only think Attitude Era, but to me, Smoking Guns, Billy Gunn back in the day.
I got the ages. So Billy Gunn currently right now, he's 62, and Dave Meltzer is 66.
So pretty close in age.
Yes.
You can't tell me there isn't just a little bit of jealousy there.
What do you got to say to that, Paul?
I believe the term that he used was entertainment. Entertainer.
Yes.
Billy Gunn was in the Smoking Guns with Bart Gunn.
Yep.
And somehow he made it work. Even though it was a fucking trash tag team, he made it work. He still went out there. He worked his ass off.
You watch your fucking mouth, Paul.
He's a fan of the Rockabilly days too. So, Smoking Guns, Rockabilly, there you go.
Look, we can go with Rockabilly, but when he was an individual wrestler, as a singles wrestler,
yeah,
I'm sorry, he fucking knocked it out of the park. No matter what he had, with everything. We can go back to Rockabilly. We can go down to him being Mr. Ass, him being the one Billy Gunn. I mean, he knocked it out of the park. No matter who he wrestled, he sold for them. He entertained the crowd. Oh, you didn't know? You better call somebody. And if you ain't down with that, I got 2 words for you. Suck it. But we know that Billy is just this phenomenal athlete. Hell, he's still fucking working out to this day at 62.
Yep.
And he looks a hell of a lot better than guys that are fucking his age. God damn. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dan. He looks better.
He looks better than you and I do.
Sorry, Michael. You're there. You're closer to it than we are, but me and Dan, we're not close. I see them exercise videos, Michael. I see you out there going bang, clanging and banging with the fucking best of them.
He uses the Simon Dean exercise videos.
Simon system. But yeah, point being, Dave Meltzer, fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
Just shut up.
People pay $15 a month for the fucking Wrestling Observer.
I don't understand it. You know what? You could pay us $15 and hear us rant the same way.
Yeah, but it'll make more sense than what Dave just said.
You know what? We'll do it for half the price.
We'll do it for half the price. We'll do it $7.50 a month. We get a few subscribers. Hey, we're perfectly fine with it. You know what? Then we could be monetized, and then Michael over there could finally start paying us our living wage.
He makes us pay him.
Yeah, and that's the worst part. That guy over there makes us pay him. You know what? I just bought 2 new cameras. You know what? Michael owes me some money. You know what? If he's getting some royalties from the LFC, you know what? We need some of them royalties too. I know we ain't on the LFC podcast. Cheap pop number
10 million.
10 million and one. But that guy over there, yeah, he a G, but I love him.
Mike, don't make me do it.
What? All right, so
we're to the next subject.
All right, we are on our final topics. So we're going to talk about the Royal Rumble, and we are going to talk about some stuff that happened on Raw. First of all, when it comes to the Royal Rumble, I thought it was a solid show. I think the most predictable outcome that we did see was Drew McIntyre beating Sami Zayn. The story was great with the kids, and at the ending, the beat for the Claymore. I enjoyed the match, but we knew Sami wasn't going to win in Saudi. Where they go with Sami from here, I don't know. But with Drew, I'm thinking we're going to do him versus Jacob Fatu versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, or maybe Cody versus Randy, or add Randy to make it a fatal 4-way. Your guys' thoughts on Drew and Sami?
Good match. It was all right. Way too predictable. But I swear to fucking God, if we get Cody in the WWE title match for the 3rd fucking year in a row, I'm going to be goddamn pissed.
Would you rather see that or Cody versus Randy 1-on-1?
I would rather see Cody opening the fucking card. I'm sick of him in the main event. Fucking chill. Let Jake run it.
I'm sorry, but I would much rather see Drew versus Jacob Fatu.
I agree wholeheartedly on that. But the story
versus Sami Zayn.
Absolutely. I am right there with you.
Versus Cody Rhodes.
Well, thankfully, we're not getting Cody and Roman 3. Thankfully, we're not getting that. So that's a plus.
That'll be SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that sees them putting this out and they want Punk versus Roman? But is it just me, or is Drew just gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna let that slide. I'm gonna let him go over there. Or are we gonna get what happened I think it was last year or the year before, where I forgot who was the champion, and they came out and they started beating the shit out of they couldn't decide who they wanted to choose. Oh no, it was Drew, huh?
Yeah. I think
and he couldn't decide who he wanted to choose. He couldn't decide on who the hell he wanted to choose, but he still went out there and beat the shit out of both
Seth and Brock,
Seth and Brock.
I think too, I mean, the match was fine, but I think what everybody's really talking about, and I still believe, since he did not take the boots off and everything, he put it back on, I still believe Thank you. I still believe that Gunther is going to be since he beat AJ Styles. I enjoyed the match and the finish, but I think AJ's going to do some TNA matches, because they kept saying at the end he's retired from WWE. So,
what do you emphasize that?
Yes. I am going to respectfully disagree with you, Michael.
Okay, yeah.
Fine. Disagree with us.
I don't think he's done.
Okay.
I don't think he's done in WWE.
All right.
Reason I'm saying this: year 2000
versus hair match.
Triple H versus Cactus Jack.
Yeah, hell, on the way up 2000.
When he beat Goldberg, when Gunther beat
Goldberg,
when he beat Bill Goldberg, did he come out to Goldberg's theme the next night?
No.
Nope, he didn't. When he beat John Cena, did he come out to Cena's music?
No.
Nope. This does not feel like it's done.
No.
Why would he attack? Why would he beat the shit out of Dragon Lee and do the same exact spot that Brody King and Darby Allin did? Literally the same exact spot.
It was literally the same exact spot. Yes, from Rampage.
And I think that, honestly, I think it was even the same side of the ring.
It was.
The camera side.
Yes, it was.
So, case in point, I don't think it's done. I really don't. I think ultimately what you're going to see AJ is going to show up. He's going to beat he's going to attack him. So eventually we're going to get AJ versus Gunther at WrestleMania.
Yep.
And I think that is where he's going to retire.
It only makes sense to retire on the grandest stage of them all, not in Saudi Arabia.
And He's made it known he's not going to AEW. Like, how many times does he have to fucking say it?
Everybody's still clamoring for him and Ospreay and him and Omega one more time. Okay.
Maybe he doesn't want. And see, here's the thing. People are expecting the AJ of like 10, 15 years ago. They're wanting that. He can't do that. He's even said
he can't do the spinal tap.
He's even said like there are some moves beyond spinal tap that he just can't do anymore, that his body will not let him do.
Like, he doesn't need to do all the moves that he used to do.
You can tell he's even struggling with the phenomenal forearm.
Yeah, because he's got to freaking hype it. Yep, he can't.
He's getting close to 50.
Like, he can't be doing springboard 450s forever. Like, come on now.
Like,
why not? I
can't. He's not done. I don't think he's done in WWE. If he is, I think he's finishing up in TNA. I still think his last match is probably going to be at Bound for Glory 2026.
Yeah, I would do him and Frankie to end it.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
So, Paul, what do you think about the match and everything?
Samoa Joe and Christopher Daniels.
Hell yeah. What did you think about the ending of Gunther and AJ Styles and the Gunther mocking him and Dragon Lee the next night?
It was kind of poetic justice, I guess, if you really, really want to look at it. But I'm gonna agree with one Bully Ray, and I don't always do it, but I do it.
Do.
I said do.
He said doo-doo.
I don't think Gunther should have been in the Royal Rumble.
No.
For him to lose, unless you were going to have him win, he didn't need to be in the Royal Rumble. You had already given him that platform of retiring AJ Styles. You didn't need to have him in there.
Cat tax.
I'm all like, what the hell are you pointing at? Oh,
cat tax.
Hello, Mr. Whiskers.
Hello, Mr. J. All right, keep going.
But at the same time, like, he didn't need to be in the Rumble. He didn't need to be part of the Rumble. Like Bully Ray said. If you were going, the last image was Roman throwing him over the top rope. Why? Yeah. If you had already given him the opportunity to beat AJ Styles, now what I would have been okay with, AJ coming in and throwing him out. I would have been okay with it, because that would have given Gunther, like, why are I already retired you, blah blah blah, I want another chance, and that would have given the story a little bit of leverage.
Well, they wanted to do the thing where
longevity, not leverage, longevity.
They wanted to do the thing 3 years in a row where he was the runner-up again.
Have it where AJ yeets Gunther over the top, and then you have Gunther saying, I want him again. I want him. And you have AJ just saying, no. And hey, we didn't even get Gunther eliminated in frame.
No.
Like, the camera work was fucking terrible.
All right. I think that's a great segue. So
what the fuck? Like, this is WWE here.
Yes.
They're supposed to be top level, and this is a goddamn bullshit that you pull. Like, what the fuck? It's never been this bad.
So let's talk about let's talk about the women.
It's always been this bad. You just didn't know it.
So with the Royal Rumble for the women, guys, I was so happy to see Sol Ruca at the end, rightfully so. Another NXT standout in the match. We did get the big return of Brie Mode. Brie Bella made her return in the Royal Rumble. And Nikki Bella would then go on to say that Brie got the biggest pop of the night there.
That ain't saying much, though.
All right. Well, yeah, the Saudi crowd is, I'm sorry, and I don't mean to disrespect people. They're terrible. Not, again, we don't disrespect the people. The government. Y'all suck.
The crowd was just weird. Like,
yeah, y'all suck.
I don't know if it was the acoustics in the arena or if it was just.
It wasn't. It was like the arena was made in like 2 months, in like less than 2 months. And it was like there was no acoustics to that thing. I've seen videos online of people going, oh my God, this crowd was so ruckus. This crowd was this crowd was that. And it's like, you're there and videoing like the crowd, like the reaction. Even Denise, she was doing the live stream of the Royal Rumble, and even she was saying the SmackDown the night before. She's like, "Are there people in the crowd? Like you can't even notice like wherever those LED lights were at. You couldn't really notice that there were people out there. Like you couldn't." And even she said it was kind of hard to hear like the crowd noise or whatever was going on. So,
I think for me too, I'm fine with Liv winning the Royal Rumble, which will segue to this because I know we got some things to say, and then we'll go to the men's Royal Rumble. So Liv Morgan cuts the promo on Raw. Raquel comes out and says, "Hey man, why did you eliminate me?" And she's like, "Sister, we're the Judgment Day. It's a win for all, and who's gonna win the women's championship?" And then she goes, "You get her, girl." And then music hits that I don't notice, and here comes Stephanie Vaquer. And they Def Rebelled the fuck out of this song. She had a great song. She loved that song. And this woman got Def Rebelled badly, man.
Oh my God. You're going to plaster the fucking ad here because even she said, she went online and said, "I don't like my new theme." And she tried to get them to keep her old theme, and it sucks. I'm sorry. Go look at everybody online that is telling the story of this damn song. It sucks. It sounds like you just picked it up off of YouTube or whatever fucking streaming service and said, "This is gonna be her song."
It sounds
no revamping, no fucking remixing, nothing.
It sounds like a song for a creative wrestler in friggin' a video game.
Exactly.
There's only one person who can get away with that, and it's MJF.
Yes.
He's the only one who can get away with using a generic fucking tune.
I mean,
well, actually, technically the Hardy Boys too, because that's a royalty-free song as well.
Jack Tempest loaded. I mean, the match in itself, I enjoyed it. I mean, it made sense with Liv Morgan and Raquel going through the table and Stephanie Vaquer retaining. You could tell, and then she gives the Oblivion afterwards. No, I would have had Raquel win. I'll be honest, I would have had Raquel win. I think I know where we're going with this. Okay.
I wouldn't even had Liv win the fucking Royal Rumble because she didn't need to win it. She could have waited for fucking Raquel to win the title.
Yes.
Away from Stephanie because they could have did what they did last year and taking the fucking title off of fucking what's his face.
Yeah.
And then having the fucking match between her and Liv at WrestleMania. Hell, if you even wanted to go further than that, you could have given Stephanie her fucking rematch at WrestleMania.
Yep.
But you didn't do it. Now what? Now what are you going to try and do? You're going to try and shift and maybe put Rhea in there, maybe get a returning Bianca Belair or something like that? Or is Bianca going to end up coming back at the Elimination Chamber and costing Jade the title, or something like that? Jade doesn't even need the title because she's not doing anything with it.
I got to speak orderly. So to quote Conan, let me speak on this. Thank you.
How did we get here?
All right, hold on.
Okay, so there was Adam and Eve at one point in time.
So what had happened was
there was this thing that they did called the horizontal, thing like that, and then things going
back there, beat Roxanne, and I think they're going in the direction of her and Liv Morgan at WrestleMania, and something's going to happen with Raquel, and then Stephanie Vaquer beats Liv Morgan. But I also think the fact that Raquel Rodriguez is going to be in the Elimination Chamber, and I think Bianca's going to be in that, make the return, and then she wins it, and then she's going to face Jade at WrestleMania. So that's how we got there. But yeah, other than that, I would have had Raquel win, but damn it, what took me out of it was the theme song, because god damn it, why? Fucking why, y'all? Why? Which brings us to, we also did have a surprise in the men's.
Real quick, I'm going to say this.
Not making new stars.
This is literally Diesel and Shawn Michaels all over again. With the same fucking storyline. You know, where, you know, what's going to happen? Raquel's already turning face. We can all fucking. Past several weeks, she's been wearing black.
Yep.
She didn't wear black last night.
No, she did not.
And they're already.
It's just a lot of fuckery. I mean, when they say creative, when Roman said creative was bad, yeah, it's just
bad. I mean, we had two surprises in the men's. We mentioned Brie in the women. We had Mr. Iguana and La Parka from AAA were in the Royal Rumble, which was cool. Damian Priest chokeslammed an Iguana. And La Parka doing his thing. The men's Royal Rumble was fine. I mean, look.
No pop whatsoever for La Parka.
No pop.
That was bad.
That was bad. No pop whatsoever for La Parka. Iguana got a pop. La Parka, no.
Royce Keys barely got a pop.
Look,
because some people said because they remember it said Powerhouse Hobbs first,
then Royce,
and then it went away, and then it said Royce Keys,
and they were like,
and everybody was just like, okay.
Look, he had a great showing. He friggin' World's Strongest Slam Logan Paul out of his boots because that mofo said, "Who the hell are you?" And Powerhouse Hobbs literally yeeted him. Look. They did the angle where Braun Breaker only lasted a few seconds because of the masked man came out and curb stomped him. So we're going to see who that's going to be. And we know we're going to lead to Braun versus Seth at WrestleMania. But all in all, if I had to say between
Braun versus Adam Pearce.
Yo, hey now. If I had to look at
the Nick Aldis.
I like that even more. I think if you look at the Royal Rumbles in itself, with Roman winning, it makes sense to do him and Punk. So, I mean, that brings us to it, y'all. What do you think about the promo that they cut? He mentioned the podcast. He mentioned Survivor Series. That was that hyped me for WrestleMania because they killed it on the promo game.
Punk looked like he was about to cry.
Oh, when he mentioned the podcast? Yeah, he literally looked like he was about to cry.
I think he was happy with the promo that Roman gave him.
Yes.
I think he was happy that on this mic, that Roman we finally got to see Roman Reigns do a solo promo worth talking about.
Yep.
Because I'm sorry, over the years that he's had this whole tribal chief, even before that when he was the big dog, none of the promos during that first era of him being the big dog were fucking anything worth talking about, other than suffering succotash.
Yep.
I mean, because that was the worst end of it. And most of the ones that he had when he was the tribal chief for the last 5 years, it was always acknowledge me, acknowledge me, acknowledge me. You're not on my level. You're not here. You're not there. Yada, 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 so on and so forth. But this Roman Reigns,
he brought it.
He brought it. And I go back to something that John Cena had said. I could do this better part-time than you could do it full-time.
Exactly.
And what Roman did was he allowed himself to do it as a part-timer and channel his inner John Cena, if you want to say it like that, and threw it all out there. I was happy with it. I was happy that they're going to be the
main event of
WrestleMania, whether it be night 1 or night 2.
What did you think, Daniel, of the promo from Roman and Punk, and Roman winning it for his second time with the Royal Rumble?
Not who I would have picked, but it was good. It was all right. You know, see where it goes from here.
Agreed, man. And I mean, I think all in all, they at least have some road to WrestleMania. I think the road to WrestleMania right now is a bit better than it was last year around this time. So here's to hoping for good things.
We still have a lot of pieces to go. We got Liv. You have to remember is that something my wife had actually mentioned. She goes, well, she also has a little history with Jade too.
Oh yes, with the Naomi thing. Yep.
So you got to kind of throw that in there too into the mix. So shout out to my wife for actually coming up with that. Thank you, babe.
Hi, Paul's wife.
Paul's wife. Now, last two things, since it happened on NXT, I got to put
Mike real quick. Can we just address the fucking bullshittery from Raw last night, where you have one of the greatest tag teams in modern wrestling, War Raiders,
and I love Obo Family.
Oh, I do too. Big fan.
But
you
fuck,
have
why
him
do you
just
have to fucking
obliterate.
You could have had fucking LWO out there to go out there. You could have had fucking anybody else.
Enhancement talents.
Yeah, enhancement talent. Hell, you could have had 3 of them out there from NXT or LFG or fucking Evolve. You could have had 3 of them go out there and have a good fucking showing, but you disrespect
of poor Viking Raiders.
War Raiders.
War Raiders, excuse me.
You know, I would say this. I don't know what their contracts are, but guys, when your contracts are up, fucking leave.
You can go back to Japan. I'll take the
go back to Japan. Tony Khan, you know, Tony would sign them in a fucking heartbeat.
Yes. But no, I'm with you. Like, he had the thing with Brock in the Rumble, which was cool. That was a great dynamic, and he was kicking ass and whooping ass. But yeah, I'm watching this. I'm like the Viking Raiders. I'm like you guys. Obafemi, love him. Viking Raiders, established tag team. I'm sorry, Viking. War Raiders. I keep going back to the fucking Viking Raiders. War Raiders.
The Viking experience.
Oh, God. I would have had
name.
Yeah, I would have had LWO. Hell, I would have had the fucking New Day. Like anybody, but the poor War Raiders. The other thing I will mention, 2 things that did happen on NXT tonight. So with Ava now not in WWE, the interim GM of NXT is Robert Stone. And the other thing is Joe Hendry.
You mean Robbie E?
Robbie E, yes, is the NXT champion, which we kind of all knew was coming in a way. So congrats to Joe Hendry. We do believe in you, sir. And before we close this out, this was a big one I know you guys want to touch upon. Triple H's comments after the Royal Rumble on the post show.
You know what? It's at the end. Here's. I'm gonna try and make this as short as possible. Look, at the end of the day, Triple H is gonna go out there and be a talking point for a lot of bullshit.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he's not gonna score any points with anybody, and I don't think he's really trying to. I think he's really just trying to go out there to just say whatever he wants to say because he feels that a lot of the WWE universe aren't gonna give a shit what he has to say. Unfortunately, what you do have is a lot of content creators, and you have a lot of hardcore fans who know that he's completely full of shit.
Yep.
Dan, go ahead.
Hit it.
I said what I said. I ain't back from that.
Paul Levesque has made it very, very clear. He does not give a shit about the fans, what we want, what we think. He's made that goddamn clear.
Right.
He's Vince 2.0.
Worse. Except for the deviance bullshit, at least that we know about.
Right.
JE files say what?
Ooh. I mean, with what he said, look. Yeah.
I'm just going to say this. And the fact that people are still defending Triple H saying, oh, he's a great book. He was. Now, he is a wannabe Dana White.
Yeah.
And he doesn't care about the fans because he knows we're going to tune in. He knows we're going to fucking pay $30 a goddamn month for the PLEs. He doesn't care. And honestly, people, he thinks you're all suckers.
Suckers for corn rolls and manicured toes. God damn it.
Okay, Nelly.
Thank you. So, I mean, it's one of the things that
Trump says what?
Oh, hey. I did see what he was saying about, the return that the full women's Royal Rumble. I saw it, but I'm just like, whatever. I know he was putting over the stories and thanking Riyadh and Saudi, but I'm just like, it makes me just go, every time he says it because of the fact that it's Saudi. And number 2, the fact that that's the first WrestleMania we're going to get outside of the States. Yeah, but Triple H is going to Triple H. And the RWT podcast is going to RWT podcast. So that being said, we thank y'all for tuning in. We will see you all in the next episode. So just chill to the next episode. Paul, where can we follow you on the social media fronts?
And the name is right there, the Dead Man of RWT. If you really want to know where I am, my link tree will be down in the description below. Mr. Daniel Crimmins, my brother, where can we find you at?
Mike's going to put links down below. I got some shit dropping in the next 2-3 days. Keep an eye out. I do believe the TSK, we recorded a Royal Rumble review. That should be dropping soon, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael Chuck, what do we got? What do you got for us?
Well, Subscribe to the S&M Network. Well, subscribe to the S&M Network Show's YouTube channel, SM Show on MCL92 on the Twitter front, Larkin_92, MLarkinMB on Instagram, SteveandMikeShow.com, and LFCfights.com. The S&M Show Network's YouTube channel features Uncaged with Daniel Crimmins and I, Paul Morales, Daniel Crimmins and I on the RWT podcast, Deeper to the Heart of Wrestling with Robert Davis, Nicola and I, the Steve and Mike Show, the LFC podcast, a little pop culture on the Michael Mike, and so much more. So hit that subscribe and like button and comment, and we appreciate everyone's opinions, even though like the chuckle fuck in the beginning, we still appreciate you. So with that being said,
I do not.
That he does not. So that being said, for Paul Morales, for Daniel Crimmins, my name is Mike Larkin. We'll see you in the next RWT podcast. And well, why? Deuces.